All right, let's start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Racha Kudash. Welcome to another live lesson. The name of this one is Babylon is Done, brothers. I had wanted the elder Debasement to play this video, but actually this clip, but he's also filming on his page.
No, I can play it on air.
Yeah, but I don't know the name of the video. It was on WhatsApp. Yeah, it was on the WhatsApp.
I can find it.
All right, cool. That I send it to you. And pretty much, there was a lot of information that was coming out in a short 6 minutes and change video that was going into how empires fall, and pretty much how America is at its downfall. And they're at the very end of their rope, so to speak. So, and you could see the rise of empires, the apex of empires, and the fall of empires. And right now we're at the fall of an empire, which the empire being America. And while that's loading up, can you read that here? Psalm 75, 5 through 7.
This is Psalm 75 and verse 5. It says, "Lift not up your horn on high, speak not with a stiff neck."
Right, and this is the Lord speaking to these nations. The horn represents power in the scriptures. So it says, "Lift not up your horn on high, speak not with a stiff neck." Why is that? Because the Most High is the one that gives the power for one to rule, and then he takes away that rule. Go ahead.
It says, "For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south."
Right. So when a promotion is what? It's an upgrade to get from one point to the next, right? So that doesn't come from the east, doesn't come from the west, south, north. It doesn't come from, sitting down voting, sitting down finding out who should be the next ruler or not. It doesn't come in that fashion. It doesn't matter how much resources or how great your military is. It doesn't matter, how much you want it, how much dedication and work you put into it. That's not how it comes. Read on.
It says, "But the Most High is the judge. He put it down one and set it up another."
Right. The Most High is the judge. He put it down one and set it up another. So go. Matter of fact, while that's still loading, so go to Daniel chapter 4, and we're gonna go to the 17th verse, because we're all set with that right there. Yep. So you can go. So pretty much that's when you see an empire come up, a newly come up empire, and you see the older empire decaying. That's the Lord crumbling one and establishing another, because there's going to be a great transition of power from one to another. And power is never really lost. It's just transferred from empire to empire. When we read in the Apocrypha, right, in the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 10, right? Let me just grab that real quick. Ecclesiasticus chapter 10. This is, what causes the transfer of power from one nation to another. This is Ecclesiasticus 10 and 8. It says, "Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another." And that's what we're seeing and we're witnessing right now. The kingdom being transferred from one people to another. But the problem in this society is that the Russians and the Chinese and these other nations, these Arab nations, they think they're going to be the next rulers. But they're not going to be the next rulers, because the next rulers are the Israelites. All right? Beginning with Yahushai. Yahushai's kingdom is going to be established on the earth, and he is going to share that kingdom with us. All right? With the Israelites. So, now, go from there, go to Daniel 4, read that real quick. I see that still hasn't loaded up. Oh, here we go. So go ahead, go to Daniel 4:17, the 17th chapter.
This is
No, that's 18.
Oh, so
Sorry. No. You're in the right chapter. Just scroll up. There you go. It's right there. That's all right.
This is
Take your
Daniel,
time.
Daniel chapter 4 and verse 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones.
Right? Because it's the Most High that's setting up everything and giving that word. Go ahead.
It says, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men.
So it's the Most High Yahweh that's ruling in the kingdom of men, not man himself. And that's the problem with Esau. That's the problem with these nations. They think that they're giving themselves that power to rule, and they're not. It's the Lord that's giving them that power, because that power was transferred from one nation to the next, from one nation to the next, until all of the heathen kingdoms on the planet, heathen nations on the planet ruled, and then the end would come. And it just so happens that the scriptures tell us that Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So we know that these so-called white people that are ruling the entire planet Earth today, they got to be in the scriptures. They got to be mentioned in the scriptures, you know, by one of those ancient names that are written in the Bible. And it just so happens that they are the Edomites, because the Lord said that the Edomites would be the last rulers. Now, how do we know that we're at the very end? All of the prophecies that are coming to pass that the Lord said would be happening prior to him coming on the scene. Right? So read on.
It says, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and set it up over it the basest of men.
So the Lord will give it to whoever he wants to give it to, and he'll set up over it the basis of men. Who is the basis of men? Esau. They've been in the caves. You can read Job, the 30th chapter. They've been the lowest people on the planet. You can read Obadiah. You know, that also goes into them being small among the heathen, meaning that they are despised. They are insignificant. All right? So even the basis of all men is being established on the planet Earth, which are the Edomites. And that began with the Greeks. Then it was transferred over to the Romans, you know, and so on and so forth. And today you have this American empire that is ruling over the planet Earth. So what I want the elder Debasement to do is find that.
Which one?
Let me see. Scroll up slowly. It's a video I sent you. It's about 6 minutes and some change long.
Wait,
No, keep going. Just slow. It's not on YouTube.
6:43 is right
Nah,
here.
hit that. Make sure the volume is up and everything. And it's loading up right now. All right, so make sure that the volume is up. You don't have to put it on the camera. You could just play it, make sure the volume is up. All right, do you have to unplug that thing like you normally do?
No, sir.
Okay, good. So let's take a listen to this.
Empires do not begin or end on a certain date, but they do end, and the West has not yet come to terms with its fading supremacy.
Pause.
At the end of
Now
every
you
empire,
heard
under
what
the
it
guise
says.
of
They have not come, no, they have not, bring it, matter of fact, bring it back to the beginning. And then play it. And, yeah, keep it there so that way you can pause it.
empires do not begin or end on a certain date,
Keep it
but
on
they
there.
do end, and the West has not yet come
Keep on.
to terms with its fading
Right there.
supremacy.
Yeah, so it says that the West has yet come to terms with its fading supremacy. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 14 real quick. And this is the problem. You know, Esau is still ruling. Even though they see their kingdom slipping away from them, they're still proud.
Those things that can be demonic.
That's all right. Just take your time. You know, they haven't come to terms yet, you know, with, you know, the fact that they are losing their power. All right. And we got, you know, some, you know, web pages, you know, an article and stuff that we want to hit So let's see how far we can get through this. So read that, Elder Debasement, 14 and 4.
This is Isaiah 14 and 4. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased.
Right, so that's exactly what we're doing right now. We're shaking the hand, exalting the voice, and letting them know that they're going down, that their kingdom is going down. You know, and we're at that point now. Read on.
It says, the Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of rulers.
Right, the Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked. Who are the wicked? The Edomites. Malachi, the 1st chapter, the 4th verse, identifies the Edomites as being the wicked. The Lord broke that staff, all right, and the scepter of the rulers. So anyone else that was joint rulers with Esau, their scepters are being broken. Why? Because we're at the end of the world where all of the heathen nations, you know, have, you know, had their chance to rule, and now it's their time to go down. All right, it's no different than anything else, you know, any other empire that ruled. Now, this right here, you know, is proof, if you read the whole chapter, that when you get to the 12th verse and it speaks about Lucifer, it's not talking about the spiritual demon Satan, you know, but it's something that's being, you know, applied to the king of Babylon and his empire, pretty much. Satan jumping on everybody. You know, it's being applied to Esau, which is the king of Babylon, and the rest of his rulers, the rest of the people, you know, that are in charge. You know, so now let's go back and let's go back to the you know, if you can get that going again. And just play that. Yep.
At the end of every empire, under the guise of renewal, tribes, armies, and organizations appear and devour the heritage of the former superpower, often from within. In his essay, The Fate of Empires, the soldier, diplomat, and traveler Lieutenant General Sir John Glubb analyzed the life cycle of empires. He found remarkable similarities between them all. An empire lasts about 250 years, or 10 generations, from the early pioneers.
Right. So it says an empire lasts roughly around 250 years. Now, there have been some other empires that have ruled longer than 250, but the average lifespan of an empire is 250 years, which is what someone would call an age. Let's go real quick to the book of Matthew 24 and 3, and then we're going to get one of these one of the articles that we got. So Matthew chapter 24 and verse 3, which that 250 year period would be an age of an empire. All right, so read that, Elder Debasement.
This is Matthew 24 and 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? When shall these things be, Salaki?
That's right.
And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world?
Right, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? Click on the tools button, and let's go to that word world. You know, because if you don't look up your words, you're going to think that's, well, the world, what do you mean? The world's coming to an end? You know, you have different words for the word world. The word for world here is eon. Okay, eon skion. I know that's an inside joke. I know the Bishop Manatazak is cracking up. Eon skion. All right, read that.
It says forever.
It doesn't really mean forever. Go ahead. No, right there. What?
An unbroken age.
An unbroken age, meaning a time period. Go ahead.
A perpetuity of time.
Go ahead.
Eternity.
It doesn't mean eternity. Go ahead.
It says the world's universe. It says a period of time.
There you go. A period of time, age. All right. That's what it's talking about. A period of time. So when the disciples asked him, when shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? It's speaking about the end of the world of the rulers that were ruling at their time. But what they didn't understand was, which the people that were ruling at their time were the Romans. But what they didn't understand was that the Romans would fall but then come back into power. They would be resurrected or resurrected, again during the time of the Renaissance period, and it would take the form today of so-called America, so you could understand. All right. So now, the individual in the video, he said, well, not the video, but the clip, because I don't know where this came from. It's an actual clip that brother sent to me on WhatsApp. He said that the average empire lasts about 250 years. So what I want you to do, Elder Demashpat, is go to the last tab right there, click on that, yep, and then read the headline on that, and then we're going to jump.
This is from TND, the nationaldesk.com. It says, the average empire survives for 250 years. Is America at death's door?
Yes, because we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Well, and that is that article dates to December 27th, 2021, which is about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago or so, or almost 2.5, or yeah, about a little more than 2 years. Now, what I want you to do is jump down to the paragraph after the second, after the picture with the men working on the roof. Keep on going down. Right there. Start right there where it says in 2026.
It says in 2026, the United States of America, founded in 1776, will celebrate its 250th anniversary. We're repeatedly nearing
rapidly.
We're rapidly nearing the 250th anniversary of the fall of the most previous civilization.
Right. So now this is why, as you see what's going on today, what are these international banking families doing? The Bilderbergs, the WEF, the World Economic Forum, the Sonoma County, Bohemian Grove, and all of these different, councils that these devils are doing. They're trying to implement what? They're trying to implement something called Agenda 2030, because they know that by 2026, America would be into its 250th year as rulers, and usually that is the death of an empire in most cases. So they know that they're entering the age of the end of America, which will usher in the new world order for them, because they no longer need America, because America helped them do the heavy lifting. They got their system in place. They got the infrastructure in place. They got all the technology in place. They're moving the world into a digital system. Therefore, America is null and void now, because it was never about America. It was about them pushing forward their agenda. And they found a patsy, as Anthony Hilder called America. They found a patsy on where they could actually catapult their new world order into effect. And now we're in the very waning years of the American empire. Read on.
It says, with ongoing internal turmoil ranging from race to financial disparity to political tribalism, and other countries gradually pulling away from the orbit of U.S.
U.S.-led supremacy. That ain't gonna show up. Oh, you're gonna do the. All right, let's go, champ. U.S.-led supremacy.
U.S.-led supremacy. It appears that the tides are turning against us.
Turn go tide. Inside joke. Go ahead.
It says, I fear that this mere statistic may soon become a reality that alters the course of our lives. After all, many citizens and politicians would celebrate our downfall, not realizing that the perilous impact it would have on the freedoms they believe that they do not have.
Yeah.
I am not sure if it would be a huge international conflict.
It will be a huge international conflict, because it's going to be a world war to end this war once they push the MOTB, which is the micro C-HIP, into the world. And that's what brought down Rome. And as we continue on in this clip, you're going to hear the individual speak about, the devaluing of the Roman currency. And that's why many financial experts always go back and speak about Rome, the Roman Empire, and the mirror that the Roman Empire's fall has with America. You know, now recently I watched a video today that Elder Apostle Tar did on the Roman Empire and how the average Edomite or so-called white man, not Jake, thinks about the Roman Empire at least 10 times a week, you know, in certain cases. But go ahead.
It says a financial catastrophe or a civil war that causes the United States to fall apart.
Well, guess what? It's going to be a culmination of many things. You know, because it says when you shall see, you know, earthquakes in diverse places, uproars of the people, so on and so forth, then shall you know that it is the very same time when the Lord will come and visit the world which he made. Go ahead.
It says, but I do believe that learning from the past is critical. If we are to slow down the inevitable,
right, and it don't matter what you do or if you go back and study history, and America is going to go down regardless. Do me a favor, go to Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 9, and this is Elder Yashawamba put me on to this in the, go to Ecclesiastes, right there, all the way to the left. Right, go to the first chapter. It's all right. First chapter. We're gonna read the 9th verse in the English, right, and then we're gonna go to the NLT. So go ahead.
Ecclesiastes 1 and 9. It says, the things that have been, it is that which shall be.
And the thing is talking about the spirit of man. It's always been around. Go ahead.
And that which is done is that which shall be done.
Go ahead.
And there is no new thing under the sun.
And there is no new thing under the sun. Now click on tools and hit Bibles. You know, for the translations, and find the NLT. Go up top right there. There you go. And hit the right there NLT, the third one. I'm sorry, no, go back. Now go hit the arrow up top to the left, all the way to the left. Oh, no, not that one. The other one, up top. No. There you go. Keep all right, cool. Now read the NLT.
It says, history merely repeats itself. It has been done before. Nothing under the sun is truly new.
Right. History merely repeats itself. You know, you have that thing, history repeats itself. Why does history repeat itself? Because it's the same people here doing the same old things. It's the same thing done over. You know? So those ancient Romans, those ancient Greeks are back here again. All of these jakes you see here, they were back in Jerusalem during the time of the Roman Empire. They were back then during the time when, you know, Antiochus Epiphanes came up against, you know, our forefathers back then. All right, so it's the same thing that's repeated over and over and over again. All right, so now go to the 10th verse. Click out of that. Go to the 10th verse.
It says, is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It hath been already of old time, which was before us.
Right. So now hit the tools and the Bible again. No, so it has been already of old times, which was before us. And go to the NLT.
It says, sometimes people say, here is something new, but actually it is old. Nothing is ever truly new.
Right, because it's the same spirits here over and over again. The only thing that's renewed or new is the flesh. You know, when you come as a baby, that's new flesh, but the spirit that's in that baby is the same spirit that there was before. You needed something?
No.
All right. So you know, so it's been the same thing done over and over again. So once the Elder Debasement takes care of this, you know, makes it a little. That's good right there.
There we go.
All right. Now, go back to the video. No, matter of fact, I'm sorry. Now, you know what? Yeah, go to the video. Not the video, the clip. Go ahead.
To the final conspicuous consumers who become a burden on the state.
And if you have anything...
6 ages defined the lifespan of an empire.
6 ages.
The age of pioneers. The age of conquests. The age of commerce. The age of affluence.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The age of intellect, ending with bread and circuses in the age of decadence.
Okay, stop. So it says the age of bring it back just a little bit, because it had 5. We're in 5 and 6 right now. The age of bread. Yeah, I believe that's it.
The age of conquests.
Nope.
The age of commerce.
No, let it play.
Oh, I'm sorry.
6 ages defined the lifespan of an empire. The age of pioneers.
Already passed. Okay.
The age of conquests.
Already passed.
The age of commerce.
Already passed.
The age of affluence.
Already passed.
The age of intellect, ending with bread and circuses
See?
in the age of decadence.
Stop that. So the age of so-called intelligence or whatever he said, it says ending in bread and circuses, and the 6th one after that is what? The age of decadence. So we're in the age of decadence right now. This kingdom is decaying. It's at the point where it can't be healed. Matter of fact, let's read that scripture real quick. Jeremiah 51:7. It's at that point where it cannot be healed. It's in a decline. It's in a decay. But it's a type of decay that you can't bounce back from. Why? Because your time is coming up. The end of your time is coming. Seeing your days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. So he has a set time where he's going to rule, and we're at the point now where the Lord is bringing him down. But he don't want to give it up. But that's all right, because the Lord is going to take it. Mm-hmm.
Jeremiah 51:7. It says, Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken.
And it's the same storyline, prophecy-wise, from the Old Testament to the New Testament. In the book of Revelation, it's the same thing. What happened? It says that one of the heads were wounded, then that deadly wound was healed, and then the world wandered after the beast. So this particular Babylon the Great, which is the same one that's spoken of in Revelation, they made the earth drunken. With what? With their philosophies, their way of thinking, their demoralization, their just decadent lifestyle. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
It says, the nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore the nations are mad.
Right, they're bugged out and they're pissed off. Because they're drunk off of the Babylonian juice. Go ahead.
Yeah, and they're seeing this. They're seeing that this Babylon juice is merely what do they call those schemes?
Ponzi.
A Ponzi scheme. It
right.
says
yeah, and a Ponzi scheme could only go so far.
Yeah.
Once there's no more participants, what happens? The whole thing falls apart. Mm-hmm. And we're at the point now where no more participants are willing to jump in bed with America anymore. She's that old hoe who lost her youth. She mm-hmm. lost her beauty. The viscosity, between her legs fell apart. There's no more. The men can't get no more pleasure from her.
Yeah.
No, therefore they're going elsewhere.
Yeah, there's some cute young ladies around.
Right.
And she's flaunting, trying to outflaunt the young ladies.
That's right.
There's a young lady called Bricks.
Yep.
And everybody chasing this hoe.
And she thick too. A young lady called Bricks, and she thick. And nobody effing with America no more.
Yeah, America.
Because the nations have found out that once they start messing with this hoe, they have all types of problems. And they're not trying to deal with any more problems. They want solutions, not problems. So read on.
It says Babylon is suddenly fallen.
Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed, because the destruction of this place is going to come suddenly. Go ahead.
It says, howl for her. Take up balm for her pain. If so be, she may be healed.
Yeah, howl for her, because these nations are going to howl for this place, but not because they're going to be sorry for her, but because they're going to be bewailing the fact that they can't make no more money. Mm-hmm. You got to remember all these different nations: China, Singapore, Taiwan, India, Pakistan, all of those different nations over there. They became rich by doing business and commerce here in America, Babylon the Great, not the Vatican City. That's how they became rich. So they're going to cry for this place, but they're only going to cry for it because they're not going to be able to make no more money. All right, and like the elder pastor said, so how in the hell is the whole world going to be blown up and destroyed? You know, if where those people that's going to be bewailing and crying, huh? Standing afar off and watching the fear of her torment.
Yeah. And how is the Lord's will be done in heaven as it is in earth? How will that ever happen? If the whole earth is destroyed.
Yep, that's right. You know, so how is the hammer of the whole earth broken? You got it. One more verse.
It says,
Verse 9.
we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed.
There's no more for healing this hoe. Go ahead.
It says, forsake her.
Mm-hmm.
Let us go everyone into his own country.
And that's what's happening. The nations are leaving here. They're still doing business here, but they're going back to their country because it's cheaper for them, you know, to do business in their country and send it stuff over here and sell it here. They make more of a profit. And, you know, any good capitalist, you know, any good investor would tell you that their job is to invest into something that's going to make them a lot more money. They're not in the business of losing money. They're in the business of making money. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. It says, and for her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies.
So meaning she's reached her limit. That's it. She's reached her limit. And once you reach your limit, why you left? Once you reach your limit, there's no further to go. You were gonna say something?
No, I'm just happy, man. Like, you know, this place is falling fast.
Yes, sir.
You know? Like, we've been waiting a long time for these things to happen, and they're happening now.
It's been a long time coming.
Yes, sir. Babylon, this place, the U.S. is like that old hoe. You know, she used to have the best box, but now she's just used up. Slip is hanging, breasts are sagging.
Yep.
Everything's sagging. You know, but she don't want to act like she's old. She don't want to, you know, come to the grips of, hey, I'm just an old hoe.
Yep. She's still trying to wear spandex with cottage cheese on her legs.
Halter tops, and her stomach has got stretch marks on it.
Titties hanging down to her knees.
Yeah, you know, ain't nothing perky no more.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's looking for a new hoe.
Yep. You
know, this place is, the attention span of the world is already short.
Oh yeah.
You know,
especially
but now,
for America.
Everybody's like, this system has been played too long. I'm tired. I want a new hoe.
Yep.
I'm tired of coming to this same hoe.
Yeah, because they find out that the same hoe ain't doing nothing for them but bringing them down.
Exactly.
You know, and nobody wants to pay to be brought down. So let's listen to some more of that.
Mm-hmm.
So she's reached her limit, brothers.
There are common features to every age of decadence. An undisciplined, overextended military.
There you go, like Rome.
The conspicuous display of wealth.
Oh, hit that. Hit that. All right, go to Revelation 18. Let's go to Revelation 18. You know, we're going to show you a little something.
Ooh,
we finna get deep. Inside joke. It's like an inside joke. No, the apostles and the bishops are cracking up. Go to Revelation 18 and start at 11. And we're going to jump around like the House of Pain.
Kind of. It's Revelations 18 and 11. It says, and the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her. For no man buyeth their merchandise anymore.
Right, and it gives you a whole laundry list of all of the different, merchandise that they sell here. Now jump to the 14th verse.
Verse 14. And the fruits that thy soul lusted after are departed from thee.
Mm-hmm.
And all things which are dainty and goodly are departed from thee.
Right.
And thou shalt find them no more at all.
Right, so now click on tools.
Mm-hmm.
And go to the word. Matter of fact, we're going to look up both, but hit the word dainty. Scroll down and hit the word dainty first. Right there. Yep. The word there for dainties is the word lipados. All right, which is where you get the word lipos. Go back up a little bit. Lipos, and you see right there under where it says root word etymology, to the right, right there, it says what? From lipos, grease. Like you have liposuction when they suck out fat out of people because they're too goddamn undisciplined to do it themselves. You know, they can't walk around the corner, you know, and discipline themselves enough to lose, you know, some weight. You know, grease. Now scroll down. Big Shirley, Pig and Burley. Go back up to right there. Outline of biblical usage.
Okay.
Right there.
It says things which pertain to a sumptuous and delicate style of living.
All you gotta do is put a picture of the average American next to that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get a picture of the average American, you're gonna see some big backs, big stomachs, you know, big wads of fat on their neck, on their head, big muscle heads, you know, at a McDonald's or Burger King or Wendy's or Popeyes or KFC, you know, or Taco Bell, you know, or at the 7-Eleven drinking a big gulp, which is nothing more than a big cup of death, you know, swallowing down, there you go, 6 packs of, look at that shit. 6 packs of, 12 packs of, look at this shit, man. Look at that. That's the average American. The average American. You notice, look at his cart, right? Where he riding down? He riding down the right aisle.
But ain't nothing in there.
Nope. There ain't nothing there that piques his interest. Now I bet you when he gets down the cookie aisle and the cake aisle and all that, look at that shit. That is fucking ridiculous. That shit looks like waves in the ocean. You know? And there you go, there go your decadent lifestyle. Your bread and circuses. You know? Which that's one of the signs of a decline of an empire. You know, the age of intelligence, you know, with the different technologies increasing, but then bread and circuses, you know? All right, so go back now. All right, so now go back, go all the way up to the top, to the arrow on the top, right underneath, you know, the tab for it, right, up, right there. Boom, go back. Now hit the word for, what was the other one? Dainties and goodly. Hit the word goodly. And you have the word lampros. Go down. And what does it say?
Shining, brilliant, clear, transparent, splendid, magnificent,
Go ahead.
splendid things, luxuries or elegancies in dress or style.
Right, and that's what he just said on the clip. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's a part of, you know, the decadence, you know, that's part of the extravagance, luxurious living. That was the ending of an empire. You could only go so far. So let's go back to the clip. Now back to the clip. Okay, I see what you're doing. I see your strategy.
Yeah.
All right.
A massive disparity between rich and poor.
You see that?
A desire to live off a bloated state. And an obsession with sex.
An obsession with sex, and you see that going on all the time. You know, every video you see, every movie you see, everything's hypersexualized. This is all a part of the decadence of an empire. You know, and the word decadence comes from the word decay. So go back. Play it, Sam. Play it again, Sam.
But perhaps the most notorious trait of all is the debasement of the currency.
Stop it right there. The most notorious of them all is the debasement of a currency. And that's what brought down the ancient empire. The debasement of a currency. Right? Go to the book of Micah. You could leave that. Yeah, you could. Micah chapter 6. And I believe it's around the 9th, 10th verse. You know, and that's these international banking families who have debased the currency so much they gave people something that is worthless. Actually, the 10th verse. They gave the people something that is worthless. It's not worth anything. The only thing that keeps it afloat is the belief of the people that it is money. It is not really backed by anything. You know, the nations of the world are starting to pull away from the U.S. dollar, which is the world reserve currency. That's another way that this place is falling apart. You know, on top of the, you know, everything else that they're doing. Go ahead. And if you want to say anything, Baba Kushai, jump right on in.
This is Micah 6:10. It says, Are there yet the treasuries of the wickedness in the house of the wicked?
Mm-hmm.
And the scant measure that is abominable?
Right, and what is a scant measure? The scant measure is something that is lacking. You know, when you have a dollar bill, when you go to the Constitution, Article 1, Section 8, and Section 10, it speaks about only coins. Silver or gold or silver coins can be minted as currency. And all of those currencies of gold or silver coins are to be expressed in dollars. Dollar is not money. Dollar is a measurement. You know, G. Edward Griffin brought that out, you know, in the book that he had and in speeches that he gave. Money is not, dollar is not money. Dollar is nothing more than a measurement. This is why in the scriptures you had, you know, weights and measures. You know, and those weights and measures were based upon what? Gold or silver. And in some cases, you know, you had land and you had, you know, people's, you know, skillful laborers and things of that nature that could be used as money in trade. But the main thing that was the standard for money was gold and silver. Abraham was rich in gold. Many great men in the past were rich in gold and silver, cattle, land, slaves, so on and so forth. Those are true riches. And these are the things that we find in the laundry list in Revelation, the 18th chapter, which these nations are getting rich off of America from. All right? Go ahead.
It says, Shall I count them pure with the wicked balances and with the bag of deceitful weights?
Yeah, that bag of deceitful weights is what? The U.S. dollar. And today's standard, the so-called U.S. dollar. It's deceitful. And that's why it's being devalued by the day. The same way that Rome was brought down, and Rome had actual metal coins that they devalued. But the point was that at least they had coins. You know, America really doesn't have any coins, and the coins that they do have are not made of anything. Mm-hmm. You know, the dollars that they have are not worth anything. Go ahead.
It says, For the rich man thereof are full of violence.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, like this guy, Kill Gates.
Yep.
You know, he's releasing GMO mosquitoes. He had a commercial mosquitoes that created the grand the Reaper, the Grand Reaper. Mm. You know, and then next thing you know, he's releasing GMO mosquitoes out into the world. Now, who's to say if those mosquitoes aren't carrying certain diseases?
Yep.
You know. Who's to say if these mosquitoes are not carrying things that break down your immune system?
Right.
You know? But he's doing all kind of wickedness, you know, because you know he doesn't care about the people. He wants to. He said in a conference that we need to kill. Basically, we need to kill people. Mm. He said the number one reason for CO2
carbon
emissions is humans, and he said that number needs to be reduced greatly.
Right, and carbon, you know, humans create carbon, yes, but the trees take in the carbon and create oxygen because they are the natural filters of the earth. But what do these devils do? Instead of growing more trees, they're cutting the goddamn trees down. That's why the Lord said He's going to destroy them that destroy the earth. Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. So finish that up, and then we can go back to the.
It says, "For the rich man thereof are full of violence, and the habitation thereof have spoken lies, and their tongue is deceitful in their mouth.
Right, their tongue is deceitful in their mouth. So play it again, Sam.
Okay.
The United States and Great Britain both began on a gold or silver standard, long since abandoned.
Yes, sir.
Rome was no different.
Okay.
So it started on
Now go ahead, play it.
a principle that was very sound, and it was on a silver standard. But as it corrupted further and further and further, the Roman denarius got to the point where it was basically a copper coin, and they learned how to plate, and it was washed in silver, and in circulation the plating came off. And at the end, all the senators that really did at one time represent the people only were interested in representing how much wealth they could steal at the top.
Put that on pause.
Great
Yeah, and that's what they did. They stole the wealth because they saw opportunities to be deceitful. Now I happen to have here in my possession a silver certificate. A $1 silver certificate. You could type in, on Google in your search engine. You could type in, silver certificates, gold certificates, and you could see for yourself that you could take this paper right here and bring it to your treasury, and they would give you $1 worth of silver or gold, depending on what type of certificate it was. They don't have that anymore. Why? Because nothing is backed by silver or gold. And that's why they took all of these. They took all of these out of circulation. They started with the gold certificates, and then eventually they took out the silver certificates. All right. Why? Because they knew that eventually the whole reason for them to put, these papers in circulation was to eventually pull the plug, so to speak. And right now they're at the point where America already, produced, what they needed it to produce. They don't need it anymore. It already accomplished its plans. It's outlived its usefulness. So let's go back to the video. The clip.
Empire wealth always dazzles, but beneath the surface, the unbridled desire for money, power, and material possessions means that duty and public service are replaced by leaders and citizens who scramble for the spoils.
Historically, all the signs of the demise of the empire are beginning to develop. Some are more trenchant than others. This current financial and economic crisis, that sort of thing always accompanies the demise of the empire.
The people of Rome were constantly being distracted by the gladiatorial events, and the politicians knew that they did this. Remember, there was unrest among the people. They had a huge event going on, and they created a new event with lots and lots of gladiators. And every day, we're doing that. That is a common trait of declining empires. And so today in the United States, for example, you find a tremendous emphasis on all kinds of television programs that distract people from what's really going on. Sports is a big part of that, as it was in gladiator times. In essence, we've been lulled into a lethargy, and we've accepted it.
Just as our sports stars today earn vast sums, so did Roman charioteers. In the 2nd century, one by the name of Gaius Apuleius Diocles amassed a fortune of 35 million sesterces in prize money.
Yeah, just like today, these athletes, they make all kind of money. That's why they pay them so much, because they know that what they do in sports is a great distraction, especially to the American people. Go ahead.
$1 billion today. Strangely, perhaps, there's another profession that is disproportionately hallowed as an empire declines. The Romans, the Ottomans, and the Spanish all made celebrities of their chefs.
And this again is typifying the end of an empire, where things were so great, we have this last oomph of momentum that we used to be great, and we felt great, and we don't feel it anymore. So everyone is out searching for it. Well, maybe it's in the best food, or the best clothes, or the best music, or the best movies, or a reality TV show, or another magazine. But you can never get enough of what you don't need. What you need is a strong moral conviction that is pervasive throughout the society, and integrity reigns.
There's a vast apathy. There's a vast amoralism even a political nature to it. That is to say, there are vast numbers of people who don't give a damn. And so there's this natural, I suppose, entropy. Any living organism, which an empire is, of
How
course,
much time is left on?
over time dies.
It?
Question is, how does it die? Does it die in a violent cascade of events, or does it die over a long period of time?
Put that on pause. Yeah, it's gonna die, you know, in a cascade, you know, cascade of events. Once they push the MOTB, you got Jacob's Trouble, you know, then you have World War III, you know, and then Jacob's Trouble is gonna bring all different types of, you know, chaos, you know, anarchy in the streets, people killing each other, you know, over scraps, you know, I mean, worldwide.
Yeah, and right now, under our noses, they're bringing in the troops for it. They're bringing in their people because they know that the U.S. soldiers will not police their own people with violence. They know that the U.S. police, even though a lot of them are violent, they will not go to the level of violence that's needed to create this problem reaction solution situation. You know. So they want this world this place to go into chaos so that they can bring order, and that's what's coming. It's gonna be a lot of death in the streets, a lot of bloodshed. You know, it's gonna be you're gonna see some shit real soon, man. You know, when the U.S. unleashes these people, you think they putting these people up in hotels and paying for them and allowing them to join the military and allowing them to join the police force? You think that's for no reason? No, that's because the time of trouble is coming. These are the people that's going to be used to enforce the sea here. When they, oh shit! Hey, watch. Soon you're gonna see these people with a full military mop-up, full battle rattle, as we used to say, full battle rattle, patrolling the streets, because they're going to create a situation of chaos, and they're going to bring order by way of all these people that they're bringing over the borders. That's right. From all different countries. These are UN troops. You know. And Elder Debasement made a good point earlier. We were talking. And pretty much, you know, you have so-called immigrants that are being put up in expensive hotels, and then you have certain immigrants that are on the streets. He said the ones on the streets are the actual ones that are coming from that country that are actual immigrants. The ones that are being put up in hotels, as he was telling me, are the UN troops. Yep. A while ago, the U.S. passed this law where they made certain parts of certain cities, and mostly in downtown areas, they made them green zones. Now, green zones are places where foreign they can ship in foreign troops and house them, man. You know. So it's a lot of green zones in America, and in these places where they got these people going and living in these hotels, they've been deemed green zones. So what's happening is now they're bringing in the troops under the you know, the visor of, oh yeah, we're helping the immigrants, we're allowing the immigrants to come in. But you got Africans, people from India, people from China, you got people from all over the world coming in, not just people from Mexico. You got people from all over the world coming in. You know. So hey, we real close, man. We real close, man. Look, man, all this pride, all this tough shit. That Jake be all this tough, you know. Look at you mean out the window. You pull up to the light next to a nigga, and you just looking, watching your surroundings. You happen to catch eyes, and a nigga looking at you all mean. Yeah. We gonna see, man. Oh yeah. We gonna see, cause hey, a lot of you Jakes they're gonna snatch you up. They're gonna send you over there to war. And while you over there in the war, the people over here, it's gonna be an uproar. They're gonna send out these Gurkhas. They're gonna send out these troops to bring order. Yeah. And these troops are not from here. Yeah.
And we used to speak about that years ago, how they have foreign troops on American soil. And we used to speak about the Gurkhas a lot, you know, but we haven't spoken on them in a while. But, you know, this is what they're preparing everything for, because the average American troop or military person, they're not going to want to fire on their own people, you know, on their own, you know, citizens, you know, if not provoked, you know. So they're going to bring the foreign troops who don't give a damn about anybody here to do the work, you know, to put in that work.
And these are people that come from countries where they have to scratch and survive, and they look at Americans as spoiled brats, as useless eaters. They look down on Americans. So it will be nothing for them to cut loose violence on this place.
Oh yeah.
You know?
It's going to be easy work.
Yeah.
Now, let's get some of those tabs up there. Wikipedia ones. Go to the first one. Now, the first tab is Pax Romana. Now, the Pax Romana, it was a Roman peace. I'm just going to read it, you know, something real quick here. It says, the Pax Romana, a Roman peace, is a roughly 200-year-long time span of Roman history, which is identified as a period and golden age of increased and sustained Roman imperialism, relative peace and order, prosperous stability, hegemonial power, and regional expansion. All right, and that's what they did. You know, they came in. Weenie Weedy Wiki, and some say Vini Vidi Vici, but it's Weenie Weedy Wiki, Weenie Weedy Wiki, which was what Julius Caesar said. I came, I saw, I conquered. All right, and when they conquered, they expanded their territories. They became a hegemony, or they became a superpower over all those other smaller countries that they conquered. All right. Now, what happened to the Roman Empire? It fell, pursuant to prophecy. You know, it says that one of the heads were wounded as a word to death. The head that was wounded was a head that was in power during the time when the Apostle John had that vision, which was the Roman Empire, right? Now, check it out. It said Pax Romana, right? That was in turn transferred over to who? Pax Britannica. Because they said once that one fell, he would come into power, you know, or that one would fall, right? And they said that the next one would come, it would continue a short space. And that was Britain, which was the seventh head. So Pax Britannica, can you click on the other one? The next one? Right next to it, right there. Yep. It says Pax Britannica was the period of relative peace between the great powers. During this time, the British Empire became the global hegemonic power, developed additional informal empire, and adopted the role of a what? Global policeman. Now, when you click on that, global policeman, right? Which he, right there, read that.
It says global policeman for world police. Or world police. It says as informed, the term for superpower.
Informal term.
So like as an informal term for a superpower which seeks or claim the right to intervene in other sovereign states.
Right, and that's what's happening right now with what? With America. But that was the job of Britain when they were in power. Go ahead.
It says it has been used firstly for the United Kingdom and since 1945 for the United States.
Why? Because in 1945, under the Bretton Woods Agreement, America became the world reserve currency. They took over the New World Order, which began with what? Economy, an economic restart. And it was transferred from the British to America, which what did that do? The seventh one, right, was in power for a short period of time. And then the eighth one, which is America, came into place and did what? Took that spot. Took the seventh spot, right? And it says, though it has been suggested that China has been seeking to take over the role in the 21st century. Now, let's go to Pax Americana, the one right before that. Right there. So Pax Americana is American peace modeled after Pax Romana and Pax Britannica. Notice Pax Romana, why? They fell, when they were in power, they fell. Then they would come back, they were starting to come back during the Renaissance period. You had Pax Britannica. Then after that, it says Pax Americana is a term applied to the concept of relative peace in the Western Hemisphere and later in the world after the end of World War II in 1945, when the United States became the world's dominant economic, cultural, and military power. So, and then what happened when the one head was wounded? It came back to life, and this next beast that took over that place eventually, it said that they pretty much kept they followed the same power from their first head, whose wound was who had the deadly wound in the book of Revelation, the 13th chapter. Right? It says, in this sense, Pax Americana has come to describe the military and economic position of the United States relative to other nations. The U.S. Marshall Plan, which they had called it also, the Marshall Plan was also called the ERP, and that which is the European Recovery Program. All right? It was officially called the European Recovery Program, but it's also known as the Marshall Plan, which Elder Pastor, that was the first time I heard about it, and pretty much that was to bring stability to those European nations, all right, economic stability to those European nations, right? It says, matter of fact, I'm just going to read this real quick. On April 3, 1948, President Truman signed the Economic Recovery Act of 1948. It became known as the Marshall Plan, named for Secretary of State George Marshall, who in 1947, prior to 1948, proposed that the United States provide economic assistance to restore the economic infrastructure of post-war Europe. Yeah, because they were broke. Because the bankers drained the European nations, so they had to set up America to be the leading charge because they wanted America to push forward this New World agenda, which had everything to do economically, globally. That's why in 1945 they made the American dollar the U.S. world reserve currency. Okay. All right, so let me see what else we got here. It says back in the Pax Americana, the U.S. Marshall Plan, which saw the country transfer 13.3 billion, equivalent to of 173 billion in 2023, an economic recovery program to Western European countries, has been described as the launching of the Pax Americana. All right. So now we see prophecy, in history. Pax Romana. It was transferred to what? Pax Britannica, and then America took on Pax Americana. Pursuant to prophecy, the Roman Empire would come, it would fall. Mm-hmm. Then after that would be the British Empire. They would continue for a short space. Then the eighth head, which is America, would come in and take over. All right, and it would be established by the same power and authority as the former beast that had the wound, the deadly wound, and it was healed. So this is all prophecy. So we're in the waning years of America. How has the hammer of the whole earth been broken down? Mm-hmm. All nations had their time to rule. Matter of fact, let's close it out with Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 11. Let's close it out there. And then, if you have anything, any closing words you want to say or any scriptures you want to bring out about Rashad, feel free. Oh, Lord. Ecclesiastes 9 and 11.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 11. He says, and I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong. It says, neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to the man of understanding, nor yet favor to man of skill, but time and chance happening to them all.
Right, and that's what we read in Psalm 75, that don't lift up your horn on high. because promotion don't come from the east or the west or the south. It's the Most High that puts up one and takes down another. And time and chance happeneth to them all. And we're at the time now that the very last empire that will rule before Yahweh shall come back is in power, and they just happen to be waning in their power. And all the other nations are licking their chops because they think they're going to take the next spot. You ain't going to take the next spot. Next spot belongs to Yahweh Shai. You know, and then he's going to have us as joint heirs. And that's going to bring an end to all of this bullshit and wickedness out here in this world, and the kingdom will be established after that. Okay. You know, inside joke. So with that, you know, you wanted to say anything else other than my Shabbat?
No, I just, man, hey, what was said was said.
You know? So with that, we pray that you brothers and few sisters have been edified. The next time we say, Shalom,
Shalom.
to the elect. Wow. Hey, bro.